Hello YouTube, it's your girl Kimberly. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button so you won't miss out on any of the great videos that I make here for hair, makeup, beauty, travel, tech, and all the good things that we want to talk about on my channel. So make sure you subscribe. Alright, so not so much breaking news anymore, but Makeup Geek is shutting down the brand. If you were not, her first name is Marlene, I forget her last name. But Makeup Geek was one of the original YouTube made famous beauty brands from the early days of the beauty community here on YouTube. For those of us who have been watching, although I've only been making videos for, this is my 5th year, I have been watching beauty YouTube videos for over 10 years, and I remember when Makeup Geek came out. I remember everyone being so excited for it and trying it and being like the first brand that was really built from YouTube that like everybody loved and was talking about based on the community that she created on YouTube. She created that products people were looking for. Everyone was excited about it. She gave PR to a lot of people who weren't necessarily the cookie cutter perfect image beauty stereo archetype of like the certain kind of girl that they gave PR to. She was really tried to be inclusive and giving it to a lot of people, and really set the tone for like how does a beauty influencer sell a brand that they create and not one that's established from another brand. So to see it go out of business is really sad. She did mark the pandemic being a really significant part of the business, making it more difficult. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. When the pandemic hit, the first thing that a lot of people cut out was makeup, myself included. Once it was like staying, especially here in New York, once it became you can't leave the house, I'm just like, so why would I buy makeup? Like, no one could see me. So even though we'll Zoom everything, remember that phase, Lord. So even though she was, you know, selling makeup, she did a successful launch, she was saying, at the beginning of January 2020, and things were going well at first. Then it seems like once the pandemic was prolonged and then we went through that long period when like people weren't buying things, that made it more difficult for her business. And I totally understand, I totally get it. To be honest, I kind of respect her shutting the brand down. I know a lot of people would have sold the brand or sent it to like another company or sold the formulas, and especially since Makeup Geek, if I'm not mistaken, is also her channel, you don't want to sell it and then somebody does something crazy with the brand, or they do something not unethical but just something that is not your brand, your vibe, and they do it with your name and now you can't control it because you sold it. I'm so happy she did not go down that route, and that she's just like, we're going to close it down. The makeup is on sale, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like 40% off or something. I'll put the website link in the description box below for while it lasts. You know, depending on when you watch this, might not be anything left because I know a lot of people are running over there now. But I really wanted to say more of the commentary on where do we go from here. Is this the end for like people being able to create brands on YouTube and be successful only for being a beauty influencer and not really having any other multi-hyphenated things to their name? And what does this mean for like YouTubers in the future who have aspirations to have makeup brands? Honestly, I think that this means that you can still do it, and that she was successful for a really long time. Like, or the brand was at least going for a really long time. I'm gonna say successful because it didn't close down, but going for a really long time, and it just being something that I think that if that is your dream and that's something you want to do, you still can aspire to. I could tell you right now, I know like 10 YouTubers in my mind that if Jackie Aina dropped a makeup collection, everybody's gonna go buy it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can still do it. This is just for her, it was the end of the era. She also in her video made a comment of like starting it when she was 28 and now being 42. And for most people in our lives, especially in like 5 or 10 year cycles, a lot of things change. You do something different. You live here, you move, you do that. And for her to, it's kind of just like not just like changing a job, but sometimes you enter a different phase of your life and it makes sense for something to come to an end. So I totally understand that from her. I do feel like now we're really in this heavy celebrity brand phase, and if you are of a certain age, you will remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a time when every rapper slash R&B kind of celebrity was, and even pop people were coming out with either a clothing line or a fragrance, and there was not one celebrity that you could name that didn't either have a clothing line or have a fragrance. It was like one of the two, and everyone had one, and you couldn't tell people that these fragrances were going to last forever and it was going to be a thing, and you were always going to be worried about somebody's fragrance and somebody's brand. And a lot of those brands today do no longer exist, and a lot of those fragrances, I don't even know if they make a lot of them anymore. People don't buy them, so it was just a phase of like, oh, everything celebrity, and then it died back down. So I think we're re-entering it, and I think the new wave, instead of fragrance and clothes, is going to be skincare and makeup, and maybe like grooming for men. But I really think that it's just a phase, and that yes, we're going to see a super influx of celebrity brands, but I think only some of them are here to stay. If I was a betting woman, I would say, I mean, my last name is Gamble, but I would say I think Fenty and Rare are going to stay. And that's it. I mean, drop down in the comments below. I've been on this channel kind of having back and forth about what I think about celebrity makeup collections. At first I thought they were bad and I wasn't really with it. Then I liked Fenty, and then I was like, well, I don't really like it because everybody's still trying to do it and they're not really about makeup. But then Selena Gomez came out, so I'm holding a little space for thinking that it can be done right, and some celebrities are really truly invested in doing it right. But the same way that all those celebrities had clothing brands that are now gone, I think that's what's going to happen. The way everybody had a fragrance, everybody had a clothing brand, I think that we're soon going to come to a time where all of these, there's going to be all these new beauty collections, and one by one they're going to start to disappear and get rid of them, because at the end of the day, we can only make but so many brands famous and sell out and be talked about all the time. Like, there's just not that much attention, real estate for every brand to be super successful and super amazing. I mean, look at, what is it, House Laboratories by Lady Gaga. I wouldn't say it's a total flop because it's still in business, but it's not as popular as it could be, and people aren't really talking about it. Same thing with Ariana Grande. What did she drop? Rem Beauty or Rem Cosmetics. It's like, come on. So I do think that definitely Makeup Geek going out of business is a sign of the times, of how difficult it is for businesses to remain competitive in a landscape when there's a new brand coming out every week. But also that people are just looking for something different in their brands right now, and it's less focused on just the products. It's equally, I would say it's 50% products and 50% your brand that you build. And it's becoming more and more and more competitive. Like, there was a time when you could walk around Sephora and I could probably name every brand that was on display. So I'd be like Too Faced, NARS, Urban Decay, Bobbi Brown, and I could name everyone. And now at this point, there's so many like little end caps of a brand where they just have a little section that I wouldn't even know they exist except for when I walk by in Sephora. So it's really, really competitive out here, and I definitely commend her for having a business for that long, and being able to create something that literally made history on YouTube. Like, if you're new to YouTube and beauty and makeup, you might be like, Makeup Geek, I never heard of it, what are you talking about it? But there'd be none of these other brands, a lot of other influencers. So much is interconnected and influenced by what she did that is really an amazing thing. And I just hope that in the end that it works out that in her good, because she seems like a cool person, even though I don't know her in real life. But so that's my 2 cents on Makeup Geek closing down the brands and what's next for the makeup world generation here on YouTube. I'm hopeful that we continue to be in a positive, less drama-full space, and that who knows, she might come up with a second iteration of a brand. I know I would love to see for her something for not mature women, but just like a brand that's targeted for like 35 and up, like having those skin kind of sensitivities and stuff, you know what I'm saying, something that really aligns with where she is now in life. I think that would be super cool as a beauty brand. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.